Hello, here we are. For the longest time, I used to ignore my feelings, especially when I was in a toxic relationship. I was so focused on making sure my partner was happy, constantly adjusting myself, afraid that if I showed how I really felt, he would leave. And honestly, I know I am not the only one who has been through this. Hello everyone, welcome back to Healer Reads. And if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Anna, sharing my experiences about wellness, mental health, and living a healthier, more balanced life. If that's something you're into, you're in the right place. Yeah, as I mentioned, I used to suppress my feelings in a toxic relationship. I remember most of the time when my partner and I had an argument, I would just get exhausted from talking and trying to explain myself. Because no matter what I said, he wasn't really listening to me. Instead, he would target my weaknesses, twist my words, and gaslight me into believing I was the problem. Slowly, I started doubting myself. I convinced myself that maybe he was right. I am the problem. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I was the one making mistakes. Over time, I stopped trusting my own emotions, suppressing everything I truly felt just to keep the peace. I am not alone in this. Even celebrities like Selena Gomez have faced with similar struggles. In a 2020 interviews with NPR, she opened up about her past relationship with Justin Bieber, describing how she felt like victim of emotional abuse. She said, I had to find a way to understand it as an adult. I had to understand the choices I was making. This highlights how suppressing emotions can lead to unhealthy dynamics affecting one's mental health. So why we do this? Why we act like our emotions don't matter? One of the reasons is fear of conflict. You know that feelings when you just don't want to deal with an argument? Like you rather just stay quiet than risk upsetting someone. Yeah, I used to do that all the time. I thought keeping the peace was more than important to show how I actually felt. But the truth is, avoiding conflict doesn't make the problem go away. It just builds up inside you until one day you explode or completely shut down. Fear of being seen as a weak. Let's be real. Society has these weird things where it makes us feel like if showing emotions is a sign of weakness. Like if you cry, you're too sensitive. And if you open up, you're too much. But think about it, doesn't it actually take strength to be honest about how you feel? It's actually easier to act like everything is fine. But being real with yourself and others, that takes courage. Avoiding pain. Sometimes facing your emotion is like opening a door to the storm. You don't want to deal with it, so you just push it aside. I used to think if I ignore these feelings, maybe it will just disappear. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Ignored emotions don't go away. They just come out in other ways. Maybe through stress, anxiety, or snapping at people over little things. Being conditioned to suppress them, and then there is how we were raised. If you grew up hearing all the time things like, stop being so dramatic, or just get over it, you probably learned that expressing emotion wasn't acceptable, so you bottled them up. But emotions aren't meant to be locked away. They need to be felt, understood, and processed. Otherwise, they just sit there weighing you down. I didn't realize that at the time, but constantly ignoring my feelings and emotions was taking a toll on my body and my mind. Mentally, I was exhausted constantly, overthinking, feeling anxiety without knowing why. Physically, my sleep got worse. I had random nightmares, and my body felt like tense all the time. Emotionally, I started feeling numb, disconnected. I wasn't even myself anymore. And this isn't just my experience. The study shows that suppressing emotions can lead to higher stress level, increase anxiety and depression, and even impact your immune system. So if ignoring emotions is so damaging, what's the alternative? How to actually deal with our feelings in a healthy way? Here are a few things that really helped me, and actually I still need to work on it. I just want to mention that don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. One of those was recognizing and naming emotions instead of pushing feelings away. I started to pausing and asking myself, okay, hold on. What exactly am I feeling right now at the moment? Naming your emotion makes them easier to process. And after that, I started to writing down, even if it was messy. I am not that kind of person like talking to friends and families about my personal issues. And I tried that, like talking to a friend when I felt safe enough. I talked to close friends who actually listened, and allowing myself to feel without judgment instead of shaming myself for being too emotional. I try to remind myself that feelings are normal and they are temporary. I need to listen to them. And one of the things that usually always helping me is using healthy outlets. For me, things like yoga, walking, and listening to the music. But for someone else, maybe it could be an art or jogging or swimming. And if you're looking for a very easygoing yoga practice, I put the link here. You can watch it. Another thing was setting boundaries. I realized that part of honoring my emotions meant choosing myself, whether that was saying no more often or walking away from a toxic situations. And you know what was the biggest lesson that I learned? Your emotions aren't your enemy. They are messengers. When you stop ignoring them and start to listening to them, everything will change. You start making better decisions and you feel happier, more confident, setting healthier boundaries and actually feeling lighter. What about you? Have you ever ignored your emotion and later realized that how much it was effective on you? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you're the person who's just struggling with stress, I put the link here. You can watch this video. Maybe it will be helpful. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Take care and be kind with yourself. See you in the next video.